It's hard to believe it is 10 years since the Queensland Reconstruction Authority was established to manage the recovery following Cyclone Yasi and the flooding of southeast Queensland. But Queenslanders are used to dealing with cyclones, flooding and bushfires. In recent times, the frequency and the intensity of these events have really challenged us as a community and also as an organisation. But QRA's role in all of this has remained unchanged, is that we have been established to ensure that our communities reconstruct, rebuild and reconnect to a more resilient state into the future.
My initial reactions after being asked to be CEO was only 2/3 of the state at that time had been affected, but it was still an overwhelming task. There was more than $6 billion worth of work from Rockhampton south. There had been flooding out in Western Queensland and then the inland tsunami, and then Brisbane had the flood in the Brisbane Valley. So it was an enormous task. At that same time, as we were moving forward, we had Cyclone Yasi arrive within a couple of weeks, so the whole state became impacted. In the first 12 months, we had some really significant tasks. I mean, we had to get the program out of the blocks, but seeing the first people move into Grantham when we moved the town up the hill, we set up the DARM system, so the rapid damage assessment arrangements, which is still carrying through today. We looked into how do we build things back better, and then looked at the program management arrangements so that we could get improved systems all the way through.
Tropical Cyclone Yasi was a huge challenge coming off the back of the 2011 and 2012 events for many communities. The Wide Bay Burnett region was the most heavily impacted, and we had examples of assets that were being repaired being washed away again. Every event is different, and Tropical Cyclone Marsha, which crossed the coast near Yeppoon, caused significant damage in the Yeppoon and Rockhampton areas, and it required significant engineering solutions and sites such as Pilbeam Drive and the Scenic Highway. So Tropical Cyclone Debbie caused devastation all the way from Townsville to the New South Wales border. The most heavily impacted area in Queensland was Whitsunday, but they certainly weren't alone in having a huge reconstruction program.
QRA's approach to recovery from a significant event the size of the 2019 monsoon trough is all about getting people on the ground straight away, as soon as possible, linking in with communities and councils and identifying what's going on the ground from their point of view.
So the bushfires of 2018 and 2019 were very different from the previous flooding and cyclone events that we had and helped councils rebuild from. The focus with the bushfires was a lot less about reconstructing infrastructure and more about community recovery.
QRA's had a long and successful history with resilience. We got involved in resilience activities right from the get-go. Brisbane River Flood Study and the Strategic Floodplain Management Plan, they were the first of their kind to be delivered in Australia. We worked with state agencies to develop up a Queensland strategy for disaster resilience and the Resilient Queensland Strategic Plan for doing resilience. We followed that up by working with selection of councils across the state in an initial pilot capacity, and we developed up 4 regional catchment strategies in central West Queensland, the Mary and Burnett catchments and the Fitzroy catchment. The establishment of the $80 million betterment program was a game changer for councils across the state. For the first time, they're given the opportunity to be able to invest in and get funds for improving those assets, infrastructure across the state. QRA has delivered the Get Ready program since 2017. This is a specific and effective program for helping communities prepare for natural disasters across the state.
Looking ahead, we are committed to making Queensland and Queenslanders the most disaster resilient in Australia. We will commit to working with the community, all levels of government, local, state and national, to ensure our communities are best placed to respond and also to recover from future natural disasters.